All right. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to another webinar with me, Morgan. So I'll wait for you guys to come on in. And as you enter, just make sure to say hello, okay? All right. So I hope everybody is having a good day and enjoying another beautiful sunny day on their balcony or in their window. I know I've had a good time. We ate lunch on the balcony this afternoon. It was nice to feel a little bit of warmth. Makes me excited for summer. Hopefully, we'll be done with quarantine by the time summer comes around. Okay. So we're going to get started here. Today, we're going to be talking about dream jobs. Now, I know most of us, when we were children, had a lot of ideas as to what our dream job would be. And today, we're going to talk a lot about what we wanted to be. We're going to focus on jobs, personalities for each job, and we're going to work on the impersonal you. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so we're going to start by doing a job match. We're going to match the name to each of the pictures. So let's start with number 1, a travel agent, receptionist, accountant, architect, journalist, chef, photographer. Okay, so let's look at picture A. And what do we think picture A could be? Now let's see. I can see 2 men in nice suits looking at some floor work. I wonder what this could be. Okay, so here we can see that they are architects. They are looking at floor plans, which are what the maps are called. Okay, let's look at picture B. I see a map. What could that be? A map. All right, here we have a travel agent. A good job. So let's look at picture C. Now, he has a camera in his hands. I wonder what job requires you to use a camera. I think that could be a photographer. There we go. We have picture D. Okay, now if you can see it, the young woman is holding a telephone. So let me see here. Between our options, receptionist, accountant, journalist, chef. Okay, I think this one would have to be the receptionist because she's holding a phone. Picture E. Picture E. Well, this is the accountant. And let's see, picture F, everyone should know. This is a chef. And that leaves our last one, a journalist. A journalist. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I was a child, I wanted to be a chef and a journalist. It was my dream job to be a chef, a journalist, and an ice skater. Okay, now when you enter, Tell me, what was your dream job? When you were a child, what did you want to be? So again, I wanted to be a chef and a journalist. What did you want to be? Oh, we have one person that came in. Hello. Okay. So I'll wait for your answer and we're going to go on to the next page. We're going to talk a little bit about different types of dream jobs. Now, most people, when they are young, want to be a doctor, a pilot, football player, a journalist. Okay, they want to travel, write, play football, or help people. Now, if you've noticed, these words go together pretty well. So I could say, I wanted to be a doctor. Doctors help people. Doctors help people. Okay, so let's take a look. Doctors help people. Well, what do pilots do? What do pilots do? Hi, Ami. Nice to see you again. Okay, so what does a pilot do? Do they play football? Do they write? Or do they travel? What do pilots do? Okay, so a pilot travels. So we could say, I wanted to be a pilot. Pilots travel. Okay, good job, Ami. So pilots don't drive a plane, they fly a plane. Okay. All right, good job. Hi, Emanuela. Very nice to meet you. I'm doing okay. All right, so let's go down to the next one. A football player. Now, what does a football player do? What does a football player do? So a doctor helps people. A pilot travels. What does a football player do? A football player plays football. Plays football. Okay. And that leaves our last one, a journalist. A journalist. Play sports with ball. Okay, very good. Yes. So what we're doing, Ami, is we are matching the jobs up top to what they do down below. For example, a doctor helps people. A pilot travels. A football player plays football. And a journalist writes. Now, if you noticed, I am adding an S to each of these words. Now, does anybody know why am I adding an S? Why am I adding an S? For example, a journalist writes. A journalist writes. Why would I add an S to writes? Just like if I said a pilot flies planes. So what do you think? So we add an S because it is our third person. And if you remember, when we use the third person, we add the S, okay? The genitive S. So, for example, a doctor helps people. Good. I help people. A doctor helps people. Perfect. Great job, Ami. Okay, so I think we're ready. I want to know, what is your dream job? What is your dream job? I think my dream job, Anthony Bourdain had my dream job. I wanted to eat and travel. Eat and travel. That would be my dream job. Okay, what is your dream job, Ami and Emanuela? What are your dream jobs? What would be the perfect job for you? I'll give you guys a second to respond and then we'll go forward. Okay, well, while you guys are writing, we're going to pull up a little bit of an example. For example, my dream job is a doctor because you can help people. My dream job is a doctor because you can help people. Okay, all right. Now by hostess, you mean on an airplane, correct? Okay, perfect. I really love traveling. It would be a good job. What about you, Emanuela? What is your dream job? Okay, well, let's go forward. And we're going to take a look at these people. Now, on our first slide, we talked about what each of them did. For example, A, they are architects. What do architects do? Do they organize holidays? Do they take pictures? Do they check accounts? Do they write? Do they design buildings? Or do they cook? What do architects do? Oh, Emanuela, fantastic. My dream job is my job. Okay, I'm an illustrator. It's very creative. That sounds like a really exciting job. I would love to see some of your illustrations. Okay, so ladies, let's take a look at this picture and tell me, what does an architect do? What is an architect's job? Design buildings. Great job. So how could we put this into a full sentence? Remember, on the last slide, my dream job is an architect because architects can design buildings. Okay. What about picture B? Picture B. If we remember correctly, picture B is a travel agent. A travel agent. What do travel agents do? What is the job of a travel agent? Let's try to put it in a full sentence. So architects design buildings. Travel agents, what do they do? What do they do? A travel agent organizes holidays. Well done. Okay, great job, Emanuela. You too. B, organize holidays. Remember, Emanuela, I want you to use a full sentence if you can, okay? So, a travel agent organizes holidays. Good. What about picture C? A photographer. What does a photographer do? A photographer, does he take pictures, check accounts, write, cook, or answer the phone? What does a photographer do? Great job. A photographer takes pictures. Good. Pictures or photos. You can use either word. Okay. Now let's look at picture D. Picture D, a receptionist. What does a receptionist do? What does a receptionist do? Does she check accounts, write, cook, or answer phones? Okay, so a receptionist answers the phone. A receptionist answers the phone. Good. So going down to E, let's look at picture E. Oh, close, Ami, close. Good job, Manuela. Perfect. Picture E. What do they do? What do they do? What does an accountant do? What does an accountant do? Okay, an accountant checks accounts. Checks accounts. Okay. Great job. So let's take a look at the next one. And we have picture F. If you can remember the name, a chef. A chef. What does a chef do? Does a chef write or cook? A chef cooks. Well done, Ami. Okay. And our last one, a journalist. What does a journalist do? A journalist writes. A journalist writes. Now, Emanuela has told us about her job. She is an illustrator. Now, Ami, what is your job? What is your job? A journalist writes. Great job, Emanuela. Okay, so I want you to tell me, is your job your dream job? Is your job your dream job? All right, you guys, while you respond, we are going to go on to our next page, and we're going to talk about a few different personality types, okay? Some different traits. For example, patient. Patient, to be patient, means that you are okay with waiting or being very patient for people. It takes a lot of patience to work with children. It takes a lot of patience to be quarantined for a month. Okay. So let's look at the next word. Boring. Boring. I think it's very boring to, what do I think it's boring to do? I think it's very boring to watch golf. I know some people really like golf, but I think golf is very boring. It's very slow. Okay, well, let's read through these. So we have patient, boring, friendly, sporty, creative, organized. Then we have funny, studious, disorganized, unfriendly, impatient, uncreative. So what we're going to do is we're going to match the opposites. Let me see, Emanuela has number 1, patient, impatient. Exactly. Okay, boring and funny. Well done. Great job, you guys. Remember, Ami, to be careful with your spelling. Now, what about friendly? What is the opposite of friendly? The opposite of friendly. Unfriendly. Great job. Sporty and studious. Okay. Now, while in this class they are considered opposites, I don't believe that they are opposites in real life. People can be both sporty and studious. And creative, uncreative, well done. Which leaves our last one of organized and disorganized. So I want you guys to help me describe yourself. Okay, for example, I am patient. I am friendly. I am creative. And I am organized. I am not very funny. What about you guys? How could you describe your personality? How could you describe your personality? So again, I am patient, I am friendly, I am creative, I am organized, but I am not very funny. What are you guys? All right, so as you write your responses, we're going to take a look and we are going to try and figure out which personality traits are required for which jobs. For example, a travel agent. A travel agent, what type of personality is required to be a travel agent? What do you think? Let's read. Ami says, I am so patient and funny and creative, but I'm not, and I'm not disorganized. Okay, or you are disorganized, depending. Okay, remember disorganized means that you're You're always a mess. But organized means you put everything away where it belongs. I'm creative, sporty, and organized, but I'm not patient. Okay, very good. I have to say, Emanuela, I have become less patient since we have been home. I live in a very small apartment, and there are a lot of people that live above me, and they stomp, 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 stomp all day long. I can hear them right now. So I am becoming less patient. Okay. So tell me, what personality does a travel agent need to have? I think a travel agent should be organized. They should be organized. They should also be friendly because they have to speak to people. So patient and friendly and organized. What do you think? What personality should a travel agent have? Very good, Antonio. Nice to see you again. You should be organized, creative, and patient if you want to be a chef. True. A travel agent needs to be patient and friendly. Also true. What about a receptionist or an accountant, an architect, chef, or journalist? What personality types should they have? I'll give you guys a few minutes to type your responses. Yes, I don't know if you can hear them now. I think there are children that live upstairs. Their poor parents, that they are running all over the place. It sounds like an elephant lives upstairs. Okay, a photographer needs to be creative. Very good. True. I think a photographer should also be organized. Otherwise, I don't know how much work they would get done. Okay, let's have a few more responses and then we'll go on to our next page. So a few more responses. Well, I think a receptionist should be organized, patient, because they have to speak to many people on the phone, and friendly, because again, they have to speak to many people on the phone. All right, good. Ami, you and I said the same thing because he or she, we could also say they, okay? Because they need to speak with people or they need to talk with people. Okay, so if we don't want to specify him or her, he or she, we can simply say they. Okay, for example, the people that live upstairs, I could refer to them as they. The boy and girl down the street, they. Or a general, he or she, they. If you want to be an English teacher, you should be friendly, a good communicator, creative, and funny. Learn a new language could be very hard. Okay, learning a new language could be very hard. All right, wonderful sentence. Okay, so as you guys are responding, I am going to go on to the next page and we are going to do a little bit of job advice. I want you guys to think of a few questions to decide which job your classmates should have. So, for example, Emanuela says she is not very patient. Okay, she is not very patient, but she's very creative and organized. So, which job do we think would be perfect for Manuela? Okay. Or, for example, I am patient and organized, but I'm not very funny. So, which job would be good for me? So, I want you guys to think of a few questions to ask your classmates, to ask the other people in the room. And I want you to help me find a job for each of your classmates. Okay? So, for example, what are you like? I'm creative and friendly. I'm not organized. What do you like? I like taking pictures. You should be a photographer. Okay, so Antonio, why don't you tell us first, what are your personality traits? Are you funny? Are you organized? Are you patient? Let's start with Antonio. What job should I do? All right, ladies, what job should Antonio do? He says, I am funny, organized, and friendly. So, funny, organized, and friendly. What should we ask him after this? What question should we ask? We should say, what do you like? What do you like? Okay. So, Antonio, what do you like to do? For example, I love to read and paint. I am patient and creative and studious. What job should I not be, but do? What job should I do or have? Okay, so ladies, he likes to meet people, visit new places, and eat tasty food. So maybe he shouldn't be a teacher. Maybe, what should he be? Who has a good idea? Which job involves meeting new people, traveling, and eating tasty food? You should work for Food Network. An influencer. An influencer would be nice. I was thinking more of I don't know, a travel journalist. A travel journalist, but influencers are a new wave job. They're very trendy right now. Okay. Let me see. So let's see. Patient, creative, and studious. Very good. So she should be a teacher. Well done. All right, you guys, well, that makes sense then. You should be an influencer. So let's go forward and we're going to talk a little bit more about personality types needed for specific jobs. Okay, so for example, my dream job is a doctor because you can help people. I want you guys to tell me what your dream job is, if you could choose any job in the world, and why you want to do that job. For example, my dream job is a doctor because you can help people. I am patient, funny, friendly, and studious. You should be studious to be a doctor. So tell me, what is your dream job? Why do you want to do that job? And what personality traits should you have for that job? So I'll give you guys a minute to respond. My dream job is a doctor as well because I can help people. Good. So Antonio, tell me, which personality traits should you have to be a doctor? You can also try traits that are not on this list, if you can think of any. Okay, good. So I am creative, friendly, and studious. All right. Manuela, what about you? Okay, you guys. So let's give you one more example. For instance, my dream job is a dancer because you can have fun all day. Okay, you should be hardworking, creative, and sporty to be a dancer. Okay. All right. So, Ami, when we have a list, for example, creative, friendly, and studious, we want to have the first two items separated by commas and then the word and. Okay. For example, I'm creative, comma, friendly, comma, and studious. You should, I think so. Not possibly, but without a doubt, you should be sensible and accurate if you want to be a doctor. Good. And not only accurate, but remember we talked about it, studious. To be studious if you're going to be a doctor. Okay, good job, Emanuela. My dream job is an illustrator because you can create fantastic characters. Great job. Well, I could not be a doctor, Antonio, because I am very scared of blood. I was never meant to be a doctor. Okay. My dream job is a act because you can create a show on the stage. Good job, but what do we call it? Not an act, but an actor. Now, actor is masculine, but actress is feminine. So my dream job is to act because you can create a show on the stage, or my dream job is an actress. All right, you guys, well done. So I want to know, when you were children, what did you want to be? I told you at the beginning of the class, I wanted to be a journalist, ice skater, and a chef at the same time. That was going to be my dream job when I was a child. What about you guys? What did you want to be when you were a child? What did you want to be? So as you answer that, we're going to take a look at this nice sentence. My dream job is a doctor because you can help people. Now, it might seem a little strange to say you, but this is called a general you. I'm not talking to you personally, but it's kind of like saying one. My dream job is a doctor because one can help other people. Okay? But in this sense, we're talking about you as a general population. So not you specifically, but a person. Okay. So not fastidiousness. That's a wonderful word, though. I really like that invention of a word. What would be another word for fastidioso? What would be that? What would be another word? Could we try? I want you to try and tell me. I want you to try and tell me what you think the word would be, and then I'll help you. Okay, Antonio. All right, you guys. So before we end our class today, we have about 7 minutes left. I want you to try and make a sentence using the general you. Remember, when I use the word you, I'm speaking to people not specifically, but in general. For example, if it rains, you could buy an umbrella. Is that a general you? What do you think? What do you think? What about this sentence? As an actress, you can entertain people. Squeamish. That is a perfect word. Squeamish. So I am squeamish. I don't like blood, Antonio. When I was a child, I wanted to be a doctor and a photographer. Very nice. Okay. Great job, you guys. So again, we are going to begin wrapping up our class. I want you guys to help me make a sentence using the general you. When I was a child, I will want to be a traffic policeman. Okay, remember, we wouldn't want to use will. Will is not the proper word. We want to use a past tense. So for example, when I was a child, I wanted to be a traffic policeman. Okay. So, Antonio, it's a good sentence, but it's not using the general you. Remember, general you. For example, my dream job is a doctor because you can help people. No, it's not the future. Will is for the future. Will is used for the future simple, which we will talk about in the future. But for right now, ed is a past tense ending. Okay? So, when I was a child, was is also past tense. I wanted, past tense, to be a traffic policeman. When I was a child, I wanted to be a journalist. Okay? So this is a past tense sentence. All right. So ladies, let's see your general you. Who has a good sentence for me? We have about 3 minutes left of class. Okay. So let's see here. Who has a good sentence for me? My dream job is an English teacher because you can help people learn English. You can help people learn English. No, you did a wonderful job, Antonio. Just a little correction. You can help people learn English. It's a wonderful, wonderful generic you. Okay. Does anybody else have a generic you sentence? All right. Let's see if I have one. Brushing your teeth. Brushing your teeth is good for you. Brushing your teeth is good for you. Eating healthy helps you. I think it's good for you is a great sentence to begin with. Okay. Thank you, Antonio. Hope to see you again soon too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin wrapping up our class. Thank you very much for coming to another webinar today. I have another one in just a few minutes, but it is for levels 10 through 13. I hope to see you again later this week for another webinar together. Okay, have a wonderful day. Bye, Ami. Bye, Antonio, and goodbye, Manuela.